to be honest, I felt in the beginning that Netflix will be the home for rogue, like edgy, hard stuff.
What happened to Hollywood to where they're like, yeah, we can't offend anybody anymore?
No, I think, I mean, I'm a big believer in you should hire the person for whatever job, not based on race, skin color, whatever. Is that the right person to do the job? Should be the only question, and not like, oh, we need 50% females. And now in Hollywood, you have all this kind of writers where you need. I mean, look at the shows, look at the TV series, right? So you have like basically in episode 2 there will be a lesbian situation. There will be a transsexual playing in the show. Whatever it is, they're writing these parts in all the shows getting made, and I think that is a total disaster. Also this kind of, I mean, if you're a female DP, you will be booked forever. Also in the technical crew, of course, they're looking at male jobs, normally male DPs, right? So if there's a female, they will get hired. But are this the right camera person, right? Is she good or not? Is the question what I would ask, and not like female or male. And I think we went away to this kind of quota system, and then this kind of, and that is the worst, I think, is that pre-censorship, what everybody is doing now on their own before something happened. They start censoring themselves and don't say Bill Burr is funny. They don't want to say it, even if they think Bill Burr is really funny. I think he's really funny, right? So, and I'm happy that a few people like Bill Burr and other comedians are still having this kind of rough, harder jokes in between. And it's this kind of like, it makes you very desperate, because I feel the whole society goes slowly down the drain. So let's say 20 years into all that cancel culture, Vogue, we have to be politically correct. This generation then after us has no clue anymore what freedom of speech means, what freedom of press means, what freedom of expression really means, because they're all pre-censoring their whole behavior from A to Z.
I feel like you are starting your hero arc right now in the movie films and in the movie industry, as everybody in our chat is saying, preach, Uwe, preach. They're loving what you're saying, because that was the background of this podcast starting, was looking at the video game and entertainment space and being like, holy shit, this place is insane. Everybody here is insane. And the reality of it is, we talk about these things on the show, and we have people who come to us silently. They'll DM us or send us an email and be like, hey, I love what you're doing on the show. It's outstanding. I wish I could talk about it, but I just can't. And the reality, people are just chicken shit. And people are scared of the cancel mob or whatever it may be. Let's talk about a movie that probably couldn't be made today, which I think is just fascinating. Let's talk about Blubberella.
Oh God.
I listen, I'm just going to give you a big congratulations on being way ahead of the fat acceptance trend.
I know. Yeah.
This movie is, for those who don't know, this is a movie that's built around World War II and the Nazis, and the hero or heroine, it's a very tongue-in-cheek, overweight lady who goes in and, I guess, destroys all the Nazis. How did this come about?
I did Blood Rain 2 and 3, and on Blood Rain 3 we had the Second World War. So on Blood Rain we started in the Transylvania, Romania, and then we went 100 years forward in Blood Rain 2 in the Wild West, and then we went to the Nazi times, Second World War. And I felt like, okay, Lindsay Hollister was in Postal. She did that job interview in Postal. I loved that scene. Mm-hmm. And I felt I should make something with her, but nobody will give me the money to pay a whole film. And so I felt I piggyback her basically on Blood Rain 3, bring her there, use all the other actors like Clint Howard, Michael Paré, and so on. And we play a lot of scenes like in Funny again after we shot it with Natasha Malte, the Blood Rain actress. And then we added some scenes, like I play Hitler and stuff like this. So we added some scenes to it, and of course it was chaotic. The film could be way better if it would spend more time with it, and but I think it has moments that are really funny, and the overall setup is right because we had all that Second World War setup going with the costumes and the tanks and the jeeps and the fighting and the stunts. So I think from this point of view, it's worth it to watch it. But of course, it's total trash, and it's a real trauma kind of a film in a way. And but I loved it. I mean, I'm a big fan of this kind of also low budget humor. Like where you just go to Blockbuster in the earlier years and you just watch something and you think like, oh my god, I cannot believe it. And it has definitely charm, So yeah,
I love it. So just to be clear, you were shooting 2 movies at once.
yeah.
That's awesome. That is great.
Yeah. And Lindsay was very mad with me because she was, of course, waiting in her trailer a long time always to get out to do her scene, and I had to put more because I got basically all the money to make Blood Rain 3 and not Blue Barella. So I couldn't do 50-50. It was like 80-20. So 80% of the focus and the scenes went to Blood Rain 3 and 20% then to Blue Barella. And that was not easy for her, waiting the whole day. So she comes for her 1 or 2 takes we could do with her. But I calmed her down and she was okay.
That's great. That's outstanding. Let's take a step back. And we were talking about, the movies that you can and cannot make, or that Hollywood would not make. Are you familiar with the film Lady Ballers that just was released by the Daily Wire? Are you familiar with this at all?
Oh, I heard about it. Yeah. And I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. I think it could be funny. Could be interesting. Yeah.
Do you feel like there's a market for, you obviously said, movies like Postal and such, like it's almost this counterculture push now that's beginning to happen where people are like, yes, we want insanity. We want, the gore and the blood and more than anything, people want honesty.
Yeah, no, totally. And to be honest, I felt in the beginning that Netflix will be the home for rogue, like edgy, hard stuff. And it's still sometimes there, like sometimes they still have the old where they're coming from. They're coming from video. They're coming from the blockbuster area. And I hope that Ted Sarandos, whatever, will stick a little more true to the genre films, to, like having zombie films from time to time and whatever. And you don't need to spend always 200 million with Zack Snyder to do a proper zombie movie, for example, right? So, and but now recently you see the tendency is from all of them, and especially sadly from Netflix, is going to that big budget shows, and all that big stars have to be in it, and so the $5 to $10 million films disappearing more and more, and I think that is sad. I think also that Netflix would have like more fans or even more subscribers if they would spend like every year for 200 million, on $102 million films, and give additional to the billions and billions they're spending. Think about Napoleon was 200 million from Apple, and also the Scorsese film was 200 million. So let's say, okay, let's let them do their big films, but give 100 younger Eli Ross, younger Uwe Bolls, whatever, the chance to make the first $2 million film. And I know so many people, they try to make films, but they have only $20,000. They have only $40,000. And you cannot compete with this. It's just not enough money to make a proper film. But with 2 million, you can do something. And it would be like 100 films from 100 different filmmakers and give them a shot and let them do basically whatever they want, but it has to be genre, no drama, because drama is everywhere, non-stop. Everything what they produce mostly are dramas in TV series and in films, like because they want the Oscars or whatever, but it's all drama. And let's do genre, like poor comedy and horror. So, but it looks like they don't do this. And what I see now, like Disney just released that they sell a lot of stuff to Netflix now, and the feeling is more and more like a lot of the streamers, in a way, almost giving up, and now will be suppliers for Netflix who will dominate the market. And yeah, it's a crazy development we have right now in Hollywood and in the film industry in general. And that the video business is gone was basically the nail in the coffin for a lot of independent film producers.
But what do you think about this? Leave us a comment down below. We read every single one of them. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button because you have found your home for common sense in the gaming and entertainment worlds.